and welcome to Two Gray Goatees and a Whistle. I am joined today by the coach's wife, Amanda.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for joining us. So in this episode, we are going to discuss specialized sports and go through the myth behind it. So basically, there was a study, and this article came out on the 2nd of August of this year out of the San Francisco Chronicle, that discusses this idea that parents have that starting kids to play specialized sports at such a young age. And
meaning they are only exposed to that one sport?
Yeah, like, okay, I want my kid to be
like
the best basketball player. Yeah, we're going to have them start out when they're 8 years old and 9 years old, 10 years old, and what they're doing without them doing anything else. There's a study that's been done the writer of this article, she's the one that did the article. The study was by a doctor of Pandya, P-A-N-Y-A.
You should have pronounced these before we started.
Panda?
Okay, anyways.
Pandya. Anyways, this was the doctor that she's pulling this information from the University of California, San Francisco. So the studies are finding is that multi-sport high school athletes played 19% more pro games. So the study goes and looks at the study was with high school and up. So in the study was looking at, in particular, NBA players. Okay. So and if you're going to the NBA, the chances of making the NBA is a lot less than a lot of the other pro sports, because you only have a limited amount of
people on the court,
and your roster is 10 or 12 guys.
Well, because they're making more than any other sport.
Yeah, so
it's crazy.
To that level, and be able to play that, that's if for that particular sport, that's like the best of the best. So to get that, so that's what the study was looking at. So the study found outside of that, multi-sport athletes played 19% more pro games, higher efficiency ratings, twice as likely to earn awards, generalized across multiple and professional leagues. This includes the Olympics. They looked at NFL and stuff like that. That was also part of their study. Early specialization is not great. Number one, injury risk. Overuse and serious injuries.
That makes sense. I mean, you are doing the same motion over and over again. It's just like if you're sitting in an office, typing on a keyboard constantly. You have carpal tunnel, you have tennis elbow, you have all that stuff that comes along with that, no matter what kind of ergonomics you're using. As a child, you're still developing.
Yes.
If you are not allowing all of your muscles and all of your tendons and all of your whatever to develop and be used to its full potential, because you're doing a specific act all the time, I don't see how it could be good for growth.
No, and there is some stuff in there that's harmful. Like you said, if you're developing only certain muscles in other things that happen, you're developing only one type of skill. Playing multiple sports, you're going to develop multiple ways to do things, and that helps with your development. So overuse, serious injuries are very common in early specialization. Burnout, dropout, emotional fatigue, loss of motivation, quitting. Yeah, I get that. If you start out really young, if you keep doing this stuff over and over,
but why are you doing it to that extent? Most kids, and I mean, clear up to, even myself at the age I'm at, I get burnout on things. If I'm doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm an adult, nobody's telling me what to do. It's something I'm doing. No matter how much I like something to begin with, if it becomes repetitious and it starts to consume my day-to-day life, I'm going to lose interest in it.
Yeah. No.
I'm going to get burnt out on it.
Right.
And these kids that are doing this, that have these parents living vicariously through them, or coaches or whoever, and they're like, hey, this kid's got some talent, shows some talent here when he's 7 years old. And then they're like, well, he's going to be the next, LeBron James or, Peyton Manning or whoever. And they shove that down that kid's throat. And at first the kid might love it, and they might continue to love it. They might not burn out on it, but who's it really for?
To me, that's the thing. And
let's be honest.
We've seen this.
Yes.
We've seen
the revolt side of it too.
Yeah, we've seen the revolt side of this. We've seen kids who are, it seems like there's no break for them.
No.
And
they're not allowed to be kids.
Yeah. And that's the part that sucks is, I think from this is that you get too much going on.
Well, I mean, we're not perfect parents. We're not ever even going to pretend that. There's things that our daughter does even now piss us off.
Yes.
And because she's her own person.
Right.
We've made mistakes. We've done good things. Whatever. And every kid is different. But we have our whole time of raising her and even just being around our nieces and nephews and stuff, we've always talked about how important it is to be a well-rounded person.
Yeah.
And that doesn't just apply to sports.
Yeah. And we can testify with a few kids that we know have grown up to be adults that did multiple sports and that are now
versus ones who were.
Yeah. And then these people that we know are playing at a high level in their sport, but they had multiple sports. Yeah. So we can testify that playing multiple sports works. So the burnout we talked about, stunt development, less rounded motor skills, uneven neuromuscle growth, which we just talked about, because if you're constantly doing one motion and you don't know how to use some other motion, that can really mess you up.
Yep.
False pathway myths. This is another one. When you get these coaches that are on these travel teams and stuff for a young age, specializing young doesn't guarantee elite success. No. Most elite athletes, like we said, didn't start specializing until mid-adolescence.
But I think that 19% proves everything, and and it doesn't seem like very much. But I'm telling you that coaches don't want a one-trick pony.
No, and to me,
they want someone who's coachable, someone who's going to put the time in, and so yes, they have to have athletic ability. That goes with what you're doing.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean you're only capable of doing one thing.
Right. And I think I look at it as also the business has gotten the business side, the money side.
Business side. It's business. It's 100% business.
Ridiculous. You have all these specialists and everything coming at you.
Training camps and coaching clinics and all these people are making all this money off these parents, and that's all that kid is doing.
Yes. And so, and the financial part, I can't.
We did travel ball for a couple of years, and we kept it really cheap, and it was still expensive.
Yeah, we kept it cheap, but we got to know that drop thousands and thousands of dollars for a season.
Yeah,
and it's to me, it's stupid. I'm sorry, it's stupid as shit. It's dumb.
It's yeah.
If your kid truly loves it and you want them playing and they want to be doing that,
so help them earn it.
Yeah.
And I feel that way about anything. I feel that way about your first car. I feel that way about, anything really. Help your kids earn it.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Then you know if they really want it and what it's really for.
Right. Continuing. So we've talked about the negative side of specialization, the benefits of multi-sports. Okay, we kind of touched on this a little bit. Stronger motor skills, physical literacy, right? Athletic ability. Okay, because you're learning how to do different things with your body and training them to do certain things. Lower injury rates, right?
Excellent.
Longer athletic careers. You're not putting so much strain on one particular area, and your body's learning how to get the most out of itself.
Kind of like a counterbalance, I guess I would say. I mean, if I'm always pulling, and I'm never pushing, there's no counterbalance there.
Yeah. And I think the benefits other sports have that might help the sport that you really do love. And I've talked to kids about this too, about, okay, you really love football. My suggestion is always in the winter, it's usually you got a choice between basketball and wrestling, and both have benefits. I think
either one of them are great.
One are great. Wrestling, that hand-to-hand combat, so it works a little bit better with football. But in the discipline you have to do wrestling, and basketball is great working on running. Spatial awareness is a little bit different than obviously when you're dealing with wrestling. So there's benefits there. Obviously you're still working in a team type of it's a team sport versus wrestling, which is individual, what
Well,
I think is a good thing.
I mean, you know my opinion on that. I think that individual sports hold just as much merit.
Yes.
And are just as important as team sports.
Yeah.
In reality, in life.
Yeah, and I think, and I truly believe,
I think everybody should do at least one of each.
At least one. Yeah, and I think so too. I think if you're in school, in high school, middle school, wherever you're at in your journey, I think picking one individual sport, so it's just about you. So yes. It's that self-drive that you can do, and that can make you.
It's self-fulfilling. It's
yeah.
You have nobody to rely on but yourself.
Yes, I agree.
And honestly, I would be just as good as if a kid who played basketball went and joined a local dance club and learned how to dance in the wintertime or whatever. It's a different specialized movement. It's a different core. It's a different muscle memory. It's different footsteps. It's different anything that makes you function in a different format.
Yeah.
Is beneficial, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So, and then, when you move on to spring, you got, track and field usually is going on. You got baseball, softball, tennis, whatever. Yeah. And all those have swimming. All those have benefits if you're, and I'm speaking just strictly in football, and this obviously works for anything else, but, in track, they'll teach you how to run. Yes. A good coach is going to teach you how to run properly. Yep. That's a great benefit right there. Yep. And then, if you do tennis, is great for footwork as well. Learning footwork in that field, that sport.
Soccer. It happens spring and fall.
Yeah. If they have spring league soccer, that's another thing that can help you. But you're getting well-rounded, and I see this a lot now where these kids are doing travel every freaking year.
Yeah, it's all year long.
It's all year long. And then it's cutting into your school stuff. And some of these, I've talked to a few students and they're like, we have to be there. If we don't show up, then they'll cut us. Like if we don't show up, like you have to make an agreement. You'll be up there a certain percentage of games, like 80%, 90% of games. If you don't show up, then you're not going to be
I understand that.
So
if you're committing, and I wish schools would do that.
Yeah. Well,
and I know some
conflict.
Some coaches and stuff are like, this is what I expect out of you, and if this isn't what's happening, then and it differs from middle school to high school too, and the size of the school difference too. In a small school, you're kind of sometimes stuck with whatever you got.
Right.
But I don't think there's anything wrong at any level, and even though I'm not pro travel sport necessarily, I mean I think there's good things about it, but I think commitment is what is a huge lack.
When you start doing this, that's the other downside of this. When you start doing year-round sports with one particular sport, is that commitment. So let's say you're at a high school. Okay. You're a great athlete. You're trying to balance that. Your parents are having to try to balance that. Everybody's trying to balance that, and you start stretching yourself really thin. And
that comes back to what we've discussed before as well, is you have to remember that these kids are human.
Yeah.
And they have to have their time, and they have to have downtime, and they have to have different things, a social life, that doesn't evolve around whatever agenda you've got them on.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I totally agree with that. So other benefits from this, continuing on with the benefits of multiple sports, longer term enjoyment, sustained participation, even into adulthood, is not uncommon after you get done with high school. I've seen people, even me when I was younger, go play, rec sports for adults, whether that's basketball, slow pitch, softball. Some people, there is football, full contact football, especially in our valley. And people right out of high school, that, definitely weren't going to go to college or whatever, but they have an opportunity to go play.
They're doing it because they love to do it.
Yeah.
They haven't burned out on it. They haven't absorbed more than they can palate. I mean,
yes. Yeah.
They're doing it for the love of it, and it doesn't consume them. They have a life outside of that.
Yeah. I totally agree. So the article talked about the drawbacks. It's talking about the benefits of it. It gives examples in this article. I would really recommend people reading the article. It's pretty good. This is from the San
What was the title of it again?
The title of the article is called, let me get it here. The best way to nurture kids' pro sports dreams, that's a question mark, I guess. New study challenges a popular belief. So it's the whole idea of this article is trying to break down that myth that specializing, particularly at a young age.
Right.
Okay, this one is going to be we are doing movie mashups. I haven't done it in a few episodes. This is a perfect time to do it because we both watch these movies. Okay. All right. Okay. The title. And so I'll do the trailer script. Okay. And then we'll do like a scene. I'll do a scene with you. All right. So Talladega Hitch.
Okay.
So, okay. Talladega
You know
Hitch.
what that made me think of? Watching Kelly and Jamie run at softball and yelling at him to drop the trailer.
Oh my God. Yes. Yep.
Drop the damn trailer.
Kidding. Love her daughter. Love Jamie. They were not
fast.
They were not fast. Okay. Opening shot of we got a slow motion crash of NASCAR on NASCAR track. Tires are screeching. Sparks are flying. Narrator. Ricky Blaze was the fastest man on four wheels. Cut to Ricky Blaze, played by a Will Ferrell type, signing autographs with mustard on his face. Ricky. I'm like a fine wine. Left in the sun too long, I get a little spicy. Cut to news footage. Ricky Blaze suspended from NASCAR after Victory Donut incident. Narrator. Until his career took a wrong turn. Smash cut to Ricky in a bathrobe eating cereal in his RV at 2 p.m. Ricky. You can take my license, but you can't take my soul. Upbeat music. Something funky and confident like Earth, Wind, and Fire coming in here. Narrator. Enter Alex Hitch. Love doctor. Confidence coach. And relationship pit crew.
Oh, God.
Cut to Hitch, played by Kevin Hart. Stylish, confident, adjusting client's collar. Hitch. I'm about to take your dating life to zero to Daytona. Ricky and Hitch walk through.
Insert 4 million eye rolls.
Ricky and Hitch walking through the garage full of race cars. Ricky says, so what you're saying is I should talk to her like she's a person. Hitch. Yes. Not like she's a pit crew member or a carburetor. Ricky. Dang. I did call her turbo thighs last week.
You would have a black eye.
Cue in Sloan Ryder, played by Scarlett Johansson. Sloan Ryder, smart, tough, beautiful, and talking to her racing team. Sloan, if Ricky Blaze wants back on the track, he better leave the charm and cheese dip at home. Reveal she's not just a racing executive. She's the owner of Ricky's former rival team. Cue montage. Romantic mishaps. Training montage. Track walk and talk. Ricky in a tux doing donuts in a golf cart. Hitch. Love is like a pit stop. You only get a few seconds or you're toast. Final race scene. Ricky's back in the seat. Sloan watches nervously. Hitch holds a boombox over his head like insane. Narrator. This summer, love takes the wheel.
Oh my God.
Title card slams into frame.
Are you going to have Kelly Clarkson sing?
Maybe. Talladega Hitch. When it comes to love, there are no pit stops.
Oh my God. There better be pit stops. You got to work on shit. That was dumb.
So here's a scene. We're going to do a select scene. This is speed dating and speed racing. So remember in the Hitch movie with the speed dating section, right? So here we go. We're at a Southern Speedway, International Southern Speedway. VP Lounge night. Ricky Blaze is sitting awkwardly in the booth surrounded by women during a NASCAR-themed speed dating event. Hitch leans against the wall, coaching from afar with a Bluetooth headset, cueing romantic chaos. Hitch, okay, Ricky, you just ask her about herself. No racing metaphors, none. Ricky, nodding nervously. Got it. Woman, so Ricky, what do you do when you're not racing? Ricky, oh, you know, I tinker in the garage, buff my hood, check my undercarriage, and sometimes Hitch is yelling, no, abort, that's not what we meant. Cut to a parking lot. Moments later, Ricky slumps on the curb eating nachos. Hitch walks up and sits beside him. Ricky says, maybe I'm just meant to be alone, like a stock car on a rainy day. No traction. No track, nope. Hitch goes, dude, shut up with the metaphors. You're not a car, you're a person. You're a ridiculous one, but still, you're just trying to win a heart, not a trophy. Slow down, ask her what she wants, then listen. Ricky, listen, like with my ears? Dear God, yes. Cut to the teen garage the next day. Sloan finds a handwritten note on her toolbox. This is a note from Ricky. You're more than just my finish line. You're the whole dang track. She rolls her eyes and then smiles.
If it was her toolbox, maybe she might be into it.
So there it is, Talladega Hitch.
Good Lord.
There's your movie mashup. All right. And we end the day with our mascots.
Yay.
Unusual mascots. All right. I'm taking you to Blooming Prairie High School in Minnesota. This nickname.
Where's that near?
So let me go over the town first, I guess. Almost 2,000 residents as of 2023.
Okay, so nice small town.
Nice small town. It's showing there's a small decline. Economics. Let's look at income. Median household income is around $64,000. Biggest employment sectors is healthcare, social assistance, manufacturing, and retail. Cost of living is about 83.5. So roughly 16 or 17% lower than national average. Typical home values are around $213,000, and a typical two-bed rent's around $990. City driving distance, Rochester, Minnesota is 39 to 41 miles. Minneapolis, the big city there, is about 84 to 85 miles away. So, definitely you're away from things, but I guess if you have to get somewhere, it's not going to be too bad.
Kind of like where Gooding is located compared to Twin and Boise.
Yes. Yeah.
So, a little bit smaller town, though.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about this. This place. All right. And their mascot. Early sports coverage of Blooming Prairie's teams, there was a nod into the city's names called the Boys of Blossomtown. Okay. In the late 60s, a student named Tom Reisler, class of 69, on mom's class, okay, redrew the blossom with a tougher face in an art class and started calling them the Awesome Blossom, which stuck. So they are the Awesome Blossoms.
That's nice.
Yep.
I love it. He
later created a widely used black and white Awesome Blossom logo, often dated to 1979.
So it's like a flower?
Yeah. The mascot's he made a little menacing, like angry looking. So
he's an angry
it's an angry blossom. So yeah. And
blossoms, huh?
The blossoms, the Awesome Blossoms, not just the Awesome Blossoms. A little bit about the school. The enrollment, this is grades 7 through 12 because it's a small town. Enrollment's about 380 kids. Your class average is probably around 65, roughly. Notable accomplishments by this school. They are the Class A state champions in 2019. They went 13-0. So
for
impressive.
What sport?
For football.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Other titles: girls softball state champs in 2013, girls track and field state champs in 1984.
Got some athleticism.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Awesome Blossoms nickname regularly places among Minnesota's most distinctive and beloved high school mascots. What are their colors?
I'm picturing blue and white.
Black and I think there's a little bit of red in there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Awesome Blossoms.
All right. That's it for today's episode. I appreciate everybody listening. Shout out to everybody who's been listening around the country, Massachusetts, North Carolina, and our local people coming from around the area, Boise, Washington area. So I appreciate everybody listening. Thanks again. Goodbye.